Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm Shayla. Hi, I'm very excited to have you. And I'm so excited to share this fun DIY chunky knit blanket tutorial with you. I know this isn't my typical wellness, healthy lifestyle, yoga lifestyle, high vibe vlog, but let me just say, there is something very meditative, therapeutic, and calming about hand knitting a chunky knit blanket. It is very relaxing. And it just makes you feel good when you make something really beautiful. Plus, they make really good gifts. If you watched my last vlog, then you saw me make this cute little chunky knit baby blanket. Today I'm gonna show you how to make a medium-sized blanket, but honestly, the size of the blanket is totally customizable. The first thing to think about is whether you want a loose knit chunky blanket like this one, where the loops are bigger, or if you want a tighter knit blanket like this one. They're both really pretty. You make them the same way. It's just a matter of how big or small your loops are. So for a tighter knit blanket, you're gonna wanna make smaller loops. And for a more loose, chunky knit blanket, you're gonna wanna do bigger loops. I will link the yarn that I'm using below. To begin, you're just gonna make a loop around your hand to make the first knot. Have the loop facing away from you and the end of the yarn facing towards you. We're gonna work along this side, so from left to right. You're then gonna take the end of the yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn and make another loop through the first loop that you made. This is the time that you want to decide how big of a knit you want, and that's going to be dependent on the size loops you make. But just make sure that all the loops are the same size. So again, you're going to take the end of the yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn and make another loop through the existing loop, and you're going to continue that until you reach the desired length of blanket. Once you reach the desired size and you get to your very last loop, you're going to make the second row by taking the end of the yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn and making a loop through this loop and pulling this way. And then you're going to continue down right to left, making the second row of loops, looping the yarn through this very first row. And then you're just gonna repeat that process until you reach your desired size. Don't be afraid to count the loops just to make sure that you're not missing any. This is the meditative part. Once you get it going, it's super relaxing and super fun. Yay, it's coming along, but it's officially that time in the hand knitting process where we've moved to the floor. We're getting comfy, we're putting on a show, we're getting in the zone. I will say, before we continue on, that it's pretty difficult to mess up this blanket. If you end up missing a loop or you get to the end and you realize that it's too loose or too tight, you can literally undo it and do it over again. And that is the beauty of hand knitting these DIY chunky knit blankets, is that they're nearly impossible to mess up. Anyway, I'm gonna keep working on this and then I will check back in with you once we are nearing the end. If you run out of yarn in the middle of your blanket, it is totally okay. Just grab a new ball of yarn and tie a knot from the new ball of yarn to the old ball of yarn. The knot will really easily hide within the blanket. You won't even see it. I'm just gonna trim the ends a little bit. To finish off your blanket, we're gonna make an edge right here. So you're gonna make a loop in the last loop, and then you're gonna make another loop in the second loop. So you should have 2 loops at the end. You're gonna take the second loop and put it through the first loop and pull down. Then you'll take the yarn that's attached to the remaining bit and you'll make a loop through the third loop and then loop that through this loop up here, pulling it down and creating a nice little edge to your blanket. You'll continue looping the yarn through the loop and then looping the loop through the loop above and pulling down until you reach the bottom of your blanket. Once you reach the very end, just tie a knot and then tuck the rest of this little tail into the blanket. And then go back to where you started, where you have this long little tail again, and you can braid this into the blanket as well and hide it within the blanket. And there you have it. That's my DIY chunky knit blanket tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave me a comment below if you have any questions. And I hope that you'll hit the subscribe button and stay a while.